On this vote, the yeas are 216, the nays are 210. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The office of Speaker of the House of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
A hammer blow for McCarthy, forced through by a group of mostly hard-right lawmakers from his own party who had lost confidence in his leadership after a last-gasp decision to work with Democrats to keep the federal government open last weekend and to avoid a historic default on America's debt in May.
Doing the right thing isn't always easy, but it is necessary. I don't regret standing up for choosing governance over grievance. It is my responsibility. It is my job. I do not regret negotiating. Our government is designed to find compromise. I don't regret my efforts to build coalitions and find solutions. I was raised to solve problems, not create them. So I may have lost a vote today, but as I walk out of this chamber, I feel fortunate to have served the American people.
He took a hard swipe at the 8 members of his own caucus who led the effort against him, including the architect-in-chief, Florida Representative Matt Gaetz, a fervent acolyte of former President Donald Trump.
If you were conservative and you only had one entity making the battle and you vote against securing the border, you vote against cutting this wasteful spending, and then you partner with all the Democrats. Now you'll phrase it all the other different ways. That's not a conservative. Look, you all know Matt Gaetz. You know it was personal. It had nothing to do about spending. It had nothing to do about everything he accused somebody of he was doing. It all was about getting attention from you.
With the unprecedented nature of his demise, fodder for further analysis.
It's a sign, I think, if history is any guide at all to this, it's a sign of a party in disintegration. I mean, that's what's happening, and it's melting down, and that's pretty clear. That's the older history. The more recent history, I think, is that what we're seeing today is the latest installment in the, ever continuing coup d'etat by Donald Trump. I mean, that's what we're seeing. And it's pretty clear that he's the hidden hand in a lot of this stuff that's been going on, that I think probably the next step would be a shutdown, which is really what they're probably aiming for. They wanted to get McCarthy out of there in part because he stood in the way of that. Bunch of reasons, but that's part of it. And it's the politics of chaos.
McCarthy now joins his Republican predecessors, John Boehner and Paul Ryan, in being forced out of office after failing to rein in far-right elements within their own caucus, who view compromise with Democrats as a red line. After some whispers that Democrats might cut a deal with McCarthy to save his speakership, the latter reportedly refused to offer any concessions to the minority party that later saw all Democrats united against him. Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries called it a solemn moment, accusing the Republican majority of restructuring the House to empower right-wing extremists who seek to impose a rigid partisan ideology. And as the hunt for McCarthy's successor takes shape, the legislative work of the House will remain paralyzed, with a vote for the new Speaker expected only next Wednesday, leaving just about 1 month until the next deadline to avert another government shutdown. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.